So, and speaking of tears of happiness, I met a very interesting young lady a couple of years ago. She was on my other radio show, Up Close and Personal. Her name is Blaire Allison, and she became famous almost by accident, Linda. Blaire was one of the wonderful metro singles in New York, involved in parties with women, bachelor parties, and in the entertainment field, TV field, and she couldn't find the love of her life, and she thought, what can I do to get some attention and get a guy? She tentatively started a website saying, Marry Blaire. That's her name, Blaire. Well, somebody outed her and sent out her news of her website and sent the link, and before she knew it, within days, Blaire Allison was an international media darling. Everybody wanted to interview her. People all over the world wanted to know what she was doing and wanted to help her find the one. Well, it's a little bit later. Life has gone in its ups and downs, in its natural course, and now Blaire Allison is the love guru. She's teaching women the spiritual way to attract the one. I got in touch with her, and I thought, what better way to start this new era of hope and change for our real cougars than to have Blaire talk to us about attracting the one. Blaire Allison, welcome to the Real Cougar Women. How are you, darling?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Wow.
You're welcome. I didn't even take a breath, and I'm still alive. So what can I tell you? I've been doing radio for 12 years. I hope it shows. So, Blaire, what's new? Talk to us. Introduce us a little bit to the whole Marry Blaire concept, and we'll ask you questions, and then let's go right into finding the one. What does that mean? Okay, so how did Marry Blaire start?
Okay. Well, like you had said, I mean, I was working in this love arena doing bachelorette parties and working in TV. I was working as a matchmaker and doing singles events for women and men. And I was out there helping single women and men attract love. And it got to a point that I was just really, really frustrated because I could not figure it out for myself. So one day, this idea came to me that I would put up this website, and it was meant to just be a private website. It was kind of like a little bit of a joke, and really like kind of a call for help to my friends and family of like, I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted, and please help me. Like, whoever you want to match me up with, I'll go out with because I just can't find him on my own, and I want to get married. Mm-hmm. So I put up the website, and like you had said, one of my friends told somebody else, and it got passed around. And within a couple of days, I was getting emails from all across the world. I was getting press requests to be interviewed, and my life just became very public. My private life became very public.
Fishbowl time, and I'm thinking a little bit of Hillary's. I know it's very dated, but it takes a village. You were saying, okay, village, for God's sake, help me. I can't do it by myself. So you got your village, but it was huge. So what was the upshot? How long was your website up for? What were you had a timeline on it, I know. What actually happened, Blaire?
Well, as part of like my kind of playfulness, I put down a countdown clock that I said, I want to be engaged by December, I think it was December 04. Mm-hmm. It was like 6 months from the date that I had put the site up. And it was like a cutesy thing. It was counting down, so it kind of gave like some urgency of let's make this happen. So at first, what I started doing was, since everybody was watching, I said, okay, I got to figure out what I'm doing here. Now it's like I have to do stuff.
Now it's a job.
Exactly. It did turn into that. And so I said, okay, I'm going to go to one singles event each week. I'll go to a singles, I'll go on a date, a blind date each week too, since I was getting emails from guys who wanted to date me. And I'll just date anybody. Like, I got to open, I thought maybe I was being too picky. Or at least that's what I was told all the time.
Everybody tells us that. Oh, you want a man with hair and a man who's breathing and a man who can, walk and talk. Oh, my God. Girlfriend, get over it. You're being too picky. Hello. Go ahead, Blaire.
No, not at all. I mean, if that's what you want, I mean, that goes into the things that I learned. But, no, be picky,
Exactly.
So anyway, I said, all right, let me go on this adventure. And then what happened was I was blogging about my dates and my whole journey. And it really became more. It wasn't just about me anymore. It was about other single women and men who were writing me. And I wanted to inspire them that, yes, you really can meet the one. Yes, the one does exist, and dreams come true. So I really started, I guess I just started being, like, taking that higher road of, like, let me have a good attitude about these dates that I'm going on. Let me look for positive qualities. Mm-hmm. And then, I'll kind of fast forward a little bit. So, it's a couple months went by that I was just going on dates and hating it. And I was like, I really can't do this website anymore because and I didn't share this with people, but I was just exhausted by that then.
Yeah.
And then what happened was a man, kind of magically appeared in my life that I was interested in, and he was interested in me. And we didn't speak when we had met each other. Like, I happened to be at the same place that he was, and we saw each other and didn't speak. We were working on different floors. And then I got home that evening, and I had an email from him waiting in my inbox saying, hey, I thought I had read an article about you the other day, because I was getting tons of press.
Mm-hmm.
And, I saw you, and, hey, I'm interested in let's talk. But it was just very divinely guided. And this is where the universe started helping me in my journey. So, this kind of turns into like one of the lessons that I learned through that website was, we're taught to be very proactive in our search for love, go on more dates and search and search and search. But meanwhile, when I started letting the universe lead me and bring men into my life who were perfect, maybe not perfect matches, but better matches than what I was finding on my own, then I was flowing with the dating process. And
how does this impact women being told to get online and pay money every single month to be on Match.com and JDate.com and eHarmony.com, and you can spend hundreds of dollars and make the cutest profiles and the best pictures, and you still don't find anybody suitable? You don't find the one. What's your take on online dating, Blaire?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, and I'll tell you why. Because most people are not prepared for love, and that's actually like a workshop and a CD and workbook that I have is to prepare yourself for love. Because if you're not working with the universe to attract the one, there's two differences. If you go online and you're just looking for a date, you're looking for a date. Do whatever you want.
Right.
But if you're looking for the one, you need to go about that differently. So once you're prepared to be finding the one, then you can go online. But most people are not prepared to find the one. They don't know how to work with the universe to attract the one.
Is there a test for knowing? Do you have a test you can give people that says this is how you know you're ready?
Wow, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Oh, I'm good with ideas.
Yeah, I'm one of those idea people too. You know what? That's a great idea. I don't have a test for them. I usually can just tell when I'm talking to someone, when I'm coaching someone one-on-one or in a group environment. I could tell if they're flowing with the universe and prepared. But I would say 90% of people are not prepared to find the one, and that's why we have such big divorce rates.
But you keep saying the one. Do you really believe there's only the one? And when you're going out, should you be looking for the one or just go out looking for someone that you have a good time with initially and then see what happens?
Yeah, wow. Two great questions. Okay. So the first one is there really the one? Well, I think there's two ways to look at that word. One way, when I'm using the word, I mean life partner.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, the one, is I feel like there's the one who is right for you at different parts of your life.
Ah, is that like a love the one you're with kind of thing, or not quite that crass?
No, because that means, okay, let me make do with you. You're not so great, but I'll love the one I'm with.
Okay.
Again, when you have a relationship with the one, there's a different energy there. There's like uncanny things that you guys have in common. The way that you're brought together is very, people use the word coincidence a lot. There's no such thing as the coincidence. There's just kind of a magic between the two of you on how you meet, on how your relationship goes, the things that you learn in the relationship.
Is this when you complete each other's sentences, or when you walk in a room and you say, how did you know I was going to say that next? Does that mean it's the one?
I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if I would really put that into the category.
I don't think so, because I think a lot of people, when they get familiar with another person, they get to know what they're going to say before they say it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the happiest cat's in town either. Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's this happiness of being together, which definitely you have when you first meet someone that you like.
Right.
But there's, one of the women that I helped attract the one, first off, the chemistry is amazing between the two of them, which I know, again, you could have in regular relationships too. But the magical things are like her birthday is the same birth date as his, too.
You're talking like a synchronicity in the universe.
There's tons of that. That's how you know when you're with the one.
Okay.
Do you want me to go on?
Yeah. Give us a couple of other, and then we're going to talk about how women who are cougars 40 and over are coming to you for advice because as we were chatting off air, Linda was saying you're very young, Blaire. You started this whole Mary Blaire website in your 20s. You're now in your 30s. Why would older women listen to you? What do you bring to the table? So tell us a little bit about other synchronicity where you feel the universe is working.
Okay.
You said same birth date. What else would you know?
I'm trying to think here because, it's just like I just feel it, like I know it when it happens. You meet in a special way. Like, okay, for example, like one of the guys that I met that was the one at that time, I had happened to just be walking to one of my events in the city, and I stopped at a red light there to wait to cross the street, and I turned around, and there was this man just smiling at me, and we just ended up talking. Like, things are just really easy. Like, it's not like he's doing a pickup line. It's just that you're drawn to one another.
Right.
You know when you walk into a room and you're drawn to some people rather than others? Or you're drawn to one another.
So do you believe that if the universe sends you people at different times for different places and needs in your life that relationships are disposable? Is it that, on Monday you could meet somebody and it's perfect, and Friday somebody walks in the room who shares your birthday and who is more the one than the one you met on Monday? Do you move on? I'm not pushing your buttons, but I'm trying to find out how many of the ones do we come across if they're meant for different times in our life?
And who are the ones keepers?
Yes. When do you know to keep?
Yeah.
Great, Linda.
Yeah, what it is first off, if you're dating someone, to focus on them. If they're the one and you keep on learning about them and you date them exclusively, and that's how you would want to have that relationship. But, there's this energy, like I was saying, and I know this is kind of like metaphysical stuff, and it's like, what are you talking about energy? But there's this energy that you have between two people, and when that energy leaves, that means the relationship is pretty much over. So that's when you know, okay, on to the next relationship, or I learned all that I can.
So a lot of people at the beginning, there's a lot of energy, but there's a lot of chemistry and there's a lot of sexual energy and lust going on there. So how do you separate the spiritual energy from the sexual energy?
Well, there's a love and an interest in the person. Like, who are they? You feel very grounded in it too. A lot of times when it's like a sexual attraction, it's kind of crazy. You're up, you're down, you're this, you're that. Whereas this is, you're more grounded. The first step really, relationships will come and go. I do believe that. I do feel that there is a life partner for you too, but I also feel like, hey, it might happen that it comes to a point that the energy is no longer there and that you need to move on. Ultimately, the relationship with the one is your relationship to yourself and your relationship to spirit or the universe or whatever. That's the constant in your life. That's where you can find happiness.
Now, you said to us that you are finding women in their 40s and 50s are coming to you for advice, and we asked you before the show, why would a woman who's in her 40s or 50s, second or third or more times around the block looking for the one, why would she come to you, a very much younger woman, and ask you for advice? And how do you counsel these women? Do you go into one-on-one coaching with them, or do they come to your Prepare Yourself for Love workshops, Blaire? How does that work?
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as how I'm helping women is, they come to my workshops, and I have a lot of products on my website. So, and also I started recently these coaching clubs, and I'm going to be launching a dating coaching club. So I help people in group environments, not so much one-on-one. I'll do that here and there. Mm-hmm. But as far as women, 40 and older, I definitely had comments. What are you going to teach me? At the time I was 27, 28. Now I'm 31. So, what do you know? You haven't lived, And there's really nothing that I can say to defend that, because someone's going to think that the way that they are, however they want to look at me, they're going to look at me. But usually what happens is if I am, given the opportunity, if they're coming to me for help, they see that the stuff that I say makes sense. It reaches their soul. You know, it's what makes sense to you. It's what works for you. So when I start talking and when I start teaching them, you know, it's helping them, and that's really all what matters.
Do you tweak your program for different age women, or is it, you know, the same for all women?
I mean, generally I teach the same information. The stuff that I've noticed with women that are, I would say, you know, 45 and older, is a lot of women in that age group are divorced or widowed, and they've only been really in a relationship, say, with like, you know, one or two people or something like that. You know, you married at a younger age. I mean, it was, you know,
yes,
the times change, whatever. So what I do help with women, you know, 40 and older is teaching more how to screen guys, you know, who it's, you know, when you know, like the online dating, they need like a little bit more assistance of like, okay, how should I put up a website? How should I present myself?
Right.
How long should I talk to someone on the phone? How many times should I email?
So they need online date coaching. I'm looking at your website, Blaire, and we didn't mention it yet. It's loveguru.net. Important. It's LOVEGURU.net with a www in front of it. But I'm looking, and you have a section here called Is He a Keeper? Get what you want in a relationship. We all know that's important. Get more confidence. For an older woman who has not dated that much, you're probably right. She needs more confidence, especially getting back in what I call the deep end of the pool. Get a date success package. But what's important to me, Blaire, is you say, scoop them, screen them, weed them. What does that mean?
Yeah,
I love it.
That is, you know, I'm so in love with that program. That's actually a 6-week program that I did live on the phone. And the women who were on that program with me were in their 50s.
Oh.
And it's all about scooping them is how do you get guys? And we went through sections. How do you get guys when you're out and about around town? And then the second part of scooping them is how do you get guys when you're online? Because there's different strategies.
Of course.
That was a lot of strategy and technique, that one. Then screening them is, okay, once you find a guy that you're interested in, how are you screening him if he's a good match for you? See, a lot of times we go into this thing of like we meet someone, oh, they're so cute or great or they have a great job or whatever, and they're in. We're in a relationship with them, right, instantly. And it doesn't work like that. Well, obviously it could work like that, but it's not really the greatest idea for it to work like that. You need to be screening them along the way. In
other words, don't be desperate.
You know what? I don't look at it as a desperate thing. Because
I'm saying women have to be selective, though. If you're desperate, you're not going to screen them. You'll take anything you get. So you're saying you have to screen them.
You have to stay safe.
But, you know, the thing is like I used to date that way, and I never looked at myself as desperate. Maybe people saw me as that, but it was just I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I wasn't taught. You know, we're not taught this stuff in school.
Of course not. There's no license in dating. There's no license. There's a marriage license only on a legal basis. There's no preparedness. Nobody gives you as much as what you take for a driver's license. We don't have that for relationships, for marriage, for living together, for parenting. This is all figure it out and good luck, Charlie or Charlene, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's what I feel like I help. That's what I feel like I help women and men with, because I was always looking for that. Since I was young, and I know you guys think I'm young, but since I was younger.
You are, sweetheart.
You know, I just always wanted that secret formula of, like, how do you attract the one? And now that's what I feel like I'm giving to women. I found it for myself, and now I'm helping other women with it.
Blaire, do you find that these women in their 40s and 50s are looking for younger men when they want a new relationship, or is it someone their own age, someone older?
It's a mix. I think there's they definitely don't want anyone older. I think that there's the women are looking for men either their age that have kids or in the same kind of life stage that they are in, or they want a younger man. That I think that they think it's going to be an easier relationship with if they have a younger man, but I don't think that that's necessarily true.
No, well, then there's a lot of more societal issues that they have to deal with. But the women that I talk to that want to be in these relationships and are in these relationships, I'm just saying, if you're happy, you've just got to screen out what other people are saying. Listen to what your inner voice is saying. Don't pay attention to the others.
That's right. And we forget sometimes when we're happy that we don't have to justify our happiness to other people. It's simply enough to say, I'm happy. I want you to be happy for me. If you don't have anything good to say, please just smile and go away. That we do have the permission to tell the people in our lives, don't censor my relationships. I am happy. This is real. Don't make me pay for it on the other side by convincing you. And I think people close to single women feel so protective these days, or desperate on behalf of the woman. It's the old story, mom is waiting to go to your second wedding. Okay, my hat's ready, my dress is in the closet, the lace is fading. When are we going down the aisle, dear? You need to tell your parents and your relatives and your coworkers, stop pushing. I'll find him when the universe is ready. I'll find him. Right, Blaire?
Yeah, I think you also have to examine of why is it that you want a partner so much in your life. And I understand, there's loneliness issues.
Well, don't you still think it's a couple's world? If you want to embrace the singles lifestyle and go everywhere by yourself and just have a good time for 4 or 5 hours and then go home alone and do whatever your hobbies are or hang out with your girlfriends, but don't you think it's still a couple's world?
It's so funny. I was talking to my mom about this, and she had said a very similar comment to me the other day. I think that it's, I think if you're looking at it as, okay, this is a couple's world, and everybody, people get married, and this is what they do. I think that again, is being affected by what others think rather than, okay, why is it that I'm looking for a partner? Okay, I want it because I'm really lonely. Well, why are you lonely? And how can you find things to do in your life and happiness with yourself so that you're not lonely? Because we're not built to be, loneliness means it's kind of like a longingness and incompleteness.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not built to be feeling, we're not incomplete creatures.
No.
So I think that's
not.
Something to explore of what is the reason.
Blaire, we have less than 2 minutes left, which probably means about a minute and a half of talk time. Before we close, I want to ask you, I see something naughty on your website, Blaire Allison, Love Guru. I see Naughty Girls Club. In 30 seconds, what is that?
Yes, exactly. That's for naughty girls who want to, in their email every week, they get a naughty thing to do to their man.
Wonderful. Okay.
To tease and please them.
That's cute. That's very, very cute. What's your upcoming event about? Quickly tell us. 30 seconds, Blaire.
Well, if you're in New York City, I'm doing a Prepare Yourself for Love workshop, which is how to prepare yourself. It's in New York City. I'm doing it in a studio space in Midtown on the west side. And all those details are on my website, loveguru.net. Just click on the workshop button on the top.
And what's coming up for Blaire? 20 seconds. Are you single? Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Are you still looking?
I'm technically single, as meaning I'm not dating anybody, but I don't feel like I'm single, and I definitely am not. I'm happy, and I'm doing a lot of teaching. That's really on my plate right now, and enjoying life to the fullest. So.
Good. I want everybody to go.